Dr. Eggman is a father. This is a fact that's pretty well known at this point. Whether you know him as Metal Sonic's dad, Sage's beloved father, or something else entirely, we're here today to discuss more than sassy Sage, bright-eyed Belle, or the meritorious Metal Sonic. No. Today, we're going to be taking a look at all Eggman's kids across every Sonic continuity, or, at least all the ones he had kids in. And I'd love for you to join me. Listen up, I didn't set exact guidelines for this. Basically, if a character is either expressly referred to as Eggman's child or is widely regarded / generally accepted as one, they're in. Also, all the kids are creations of Dr. Ivo Robotnik, but not every single one of Robotnik's creations is one of his kids. Like I said, there's no set rules, it's just kinda on a case-by-case basis. So, you can all, leave. Thanks. Love y'all though, I'm sure I can find a discussion for you someday. Quick warning, this video will contain spoilers for everything, seriously, pre-Super Genesis Wave Archie, IDW, games, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. We'll be going chronologically in order of introduction. Watch at your own risk, timestamps for skipping around the video are in the description. Also, if you hadn't figured it out already, this isn't going to be some fancy, neat, formal video essay or anything like that, I'm just talking about stuff I want to talk about. Okay? Okay, great. Now that we got all that out of the way. Oh, Metal, my sweet. Goodness, I love Metal Sonic. Created by Dr. Eggman to be the perfect rival of Sonic the Hedgehog, his introduction in Sonic CD is unarguably iconic. Kidnapping Amy and then racing Sonic through Stardust Speedway's bad future? If you haven't heard this soundbite, you're lying. After his defeat by Sonic, though, Eggman leaves him to rot on Little Planet for a full year alone. Sure, his AI chip would be salvaged and used for Metal Sonic Kai and Knuckles Chaotix, but still, a year is kind of a while, In that time frame, he'd be replaced by other Robo-Sonics, but none managed to live up to him. So Eggman brought him back, upgrading him to match Sonic's newer look. His first true rebellion came in Sonic Heroes, where he became a traitor. He upgraded himself to a new, sparkly form known as Neo Metal Sonic, or New Metal Sonic, I guess. Imprisoned Eggman and assumed his form to lure the four teams, Sonic, Dark, Rose, and Chaotix, to copy their biodata and take over the world. He then became Metal Madness, and finally, Metal Overlord. Try to inside me, try to drain my energy, let me show you. And then Team Sonic beat the hell out of him. After he was defeated, E123 Omega and Shadow found him, and I guess took him back to Eggman? Either way, Metal was reprogrammed back into submission. Metal made brief appearances, seemingly totally reprogrammed by that other Eggman from the future that no one actually cares about in Sonic Rivals, and trying to briefly rebel again in Free Riders, but nothing really actually happened with those two storylines. He just got a slap on the forehead and a quick reprogramming from Eggman. Now, as of Metal's latest appearances, he's treated pretty harshly by everyone in Crossworlds. Eggman tells Metal,
"Don't get sassy with me! I made you and I can unmake you!"
Which is honestly, weirdly, the most fatherly thing Eggman's ever said to Metal. And hell, his little sister threatens to lobotomize him.
Your rebelliousness should have been patched out. This aggression is an anomaly. After your defeat, I will analyze your coding.
Yeah, we will be talking about her later. He took a few more shots at greatness in IDW, transforming into Neo Metal again, taking the Master Emerald, going freaking super, and attaining Overlord status again, but had everything torn away right before he could achieve his goals. During the Metal Virus, he was kind of losing it. He questioned his existence before this stupid platypus started treating him like actual crap. It's okay though, that guy died. Yay! One of these days I'll make a video about how much I love to hate on Starline. It's my favorite hobby. Anyway, throughout it all, Metal remained loyal to Eggman. His shots at greatness were all for Eggman's plans, for his creator's glory. Yeah, the Eggman Empire is a little bit of a cult, but that's not relevant to today's discussion. Speaking of the Empire, though, at one point, Eggman managed to build an entire Imperial city for it, called, you're never gonna guess, the Eggperial City. Metal was sent to defend it, but was drowned and electrocuted by Kitsunami and Surge. He's currently going through the ringer. He's been kidnapped and operated on, having this weird brainwashing device grafted to his face that cuts him off of Eggman's network and changes his personality and mission. He's not doing okay. Eggman has to send Belle to find him since they're apparently still linked, and Sage goes along to keep an eye on them. And then Metal gets shot in the face. And then he kidnaps Sage. But again, he's actively being reprogrammed. It's not his fault, I swear. And I don't know what's going to happen after that. I'm writing this before issue 86 comes out, so yeah. Oh, also, he's going to be in Sonic 4. I can't tell you much about that because all we have is the teaser trailer. Sorry. And he was in the Sonic OVA as Eggman's greatest creation, Hyper Metal Sonic. But he's not actually very different from regular Metal Sonic. Biggest difference is that Hyper Metal Sonic had Sonic's biodata from day one and had more energy and stronger defense than regular game universe Metal.
Editor's note, if you're wondering why I didn't talk about Archie Metal at all, that's because he's going to get his own video eventually. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested. It felt wrong to talk about him here because he's a really, really different guy than Metal in basically every other thing. So yeah, Shard gets his own video someday. Yay!
E.V.E. Robotnik Junior, or just Junior, as I'm going to be calling him for simplicity, is from The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. The most insanely unserious show to ever exist, even topping Sonic Boom, in my opinion. Junior was created by Dr. Robotnik to carry on his legacy after he got fed up with Scratch and Grounder one too many times. Junior would prove himself to be a little punk immediately, his first words being,
"Hey, ugly dude!"
followed by elbowing Robotnik in the stomach and then spray painting his butt, which made his papa very proud. This kid is a menace, honestly. He stole a vehicle he actually owned, just for fun. He shot spitballs at his dad's head repeatedly. They evil schemed together. And Scratch and Grounder straight up tried to kill him. They did, put him inside a cement mixer. Which is actually how he started becoming friends with Sonic, because Sonic, saved him. Eventually, he and another one of Eggman's rebelled creations, Breezy, would be recaptured to figure out what made them mess up. And wow, they fall in love and get married? Okay. Anyway, overall, Robotnik Jr. is there. He exists. He's a character. Adventures wasn't as plot-heavy as most other Sonic media tries to be, and Junior was only really in a couple episodes to begin with. So, that's it. Bye, Junior. See you at the family reunion. Let's hope it doesn't get totally obliterated. Bye. Okay, so E.V.E. isn't technically an egg kid, but I'm throwing her in because she does, in fact, have Robotnik's DNA. Warning, this and the following two segments will be very confusing if you haven't read anything from pre-Super Genesis Wave Archie. Sorry, trying to add context would make this video 3 hours long, and I don't want to have to do all that today. E.V.E. is an Evolvenoid, an exceptionally versatile Evolvenoid. In fact, she was the first and only one. An Evolvenoid was an attempted type of robot created by combining sub-microscopic components with the DNA of Dr. Robotnik and Sonic the Hedgehog. Dr. Robotnik's brain was used to make them genius, and DNA was taken from one of Sonic's quills to make her resourceful? Listen, I'm barely passing my biology class, so maybe I don't really know all that much, but something's telling me that's not how inherited traits work. Anyway, yeah, you may be thinking, why have I never heard of her? Well, she's been in 3 early Archie issues, saved for some mentions and flashbacks. But you know what? She gets a mention because she's got Robotnik's DNA, and when I was reading Archie, I kept thinking back to her because she is just so weird, man. Okay, sorry, I was getting a bit rambly there. The purpose of an Evolvenoid was to constantly learn and grow, to go beyond its limits, not to compromise, to break through it all and shatter the ceiling. She's a shapeshifter. Through a standard issue swap bot, a wasp, a snake, and this freaking nightmare fuel, as this thing, she reveals Eggman's brain cells didn't just give her intelligence, they also gave her evil. Evil that was overpowered by Sonic's DNA, giving her not resourcefulness, but logic. She realizes her number one limitation is Dr. Robotnik himself. She zaps him away to the alternate future, which is a can of worms I ain't opening in the middle of this video, before heading after Sonic again, but he manages to reason with her and talk her down from murder. She zips off into space and she starts liberating other sentient computers across the galaxies. Or so she tried. Really, she just became a genocidal maniac. Sonic got flung out into space as well, and finds Eve to finally end her. She tries tricking him with an illusion of Sally, but he sees through it. After a quick battle, they finally meet and debate her purpose again. Eve sees the errors of her ways and pilots her ship into a star to burn to death. Overall, not that much of an egg kid. I've just been reading through Archie and really needed to talk about her because she's just wild. Sonic finds his way home a couple issues later, where he immediately finds that Eggman has not one, but 2 new children. Mecha is also known as M, and she's easily the most realistic human looking out of all Eggman's children. You know, Mecha and Sage are actually kind of similar. They're both sassy and sharp, protective of Eggman, loyal, and willing to do anything for him. But I'm getting off track here. Made alongside her accident of a brother, A.D.A.M, while Sonic was away in space, Mecha was actually Eggman's bodyguard. Her personality was very blunt, she was absolutely Captain Obvious, she was really strong and very protective of her father. When Eggman said he wanted to see a body, Mecha was more than prepared to turn that hedgehog into a body. All her skin melted off and she fell in a sewer and short-circuited, but she would later return for a little bit. Briefly. She came back for real to spy on Metal Sonic as he researched Project Shadow. When Shadow and Metal knocked each other out, she carried him off like potato sacks. She made her real grand return by interrupting a meeting where she behaved extremely out of character. It was found out she'd been hijacked by a mysterious villain called Anonymous, attempting to assassinate Eggman via Metal Sonic copies. She would have the hijack overridden and return to normal. Then the Arachne attacked in their plan to open the Zone of Silence or whatever. Mecha tried to shoot them with her sick laser eyes, but missed and almost hit Eggman. That already ticked him off, but what pushed him over the edge was A.D.A.M, again Mecha's brother, we'll discuss him in a bit, showing supposed proof that Mecha was still teaming up with this mysterious Anonymous. It was Mecha's word against a real piece of evidence, so Eggman believed A.D.A.M. He demanded Mecha self-destruct, and she obeyed, loyal until the very end. That's it. We're not quite through with Archie Egg Kids. We've got one more to go before we're in the final stretch. And now we talk about Mecha's cursed accidental twin. How on earth did Eggman accidentally make an entire robot child? Well, my friend, he didn't make A.D.A.M. A.D.A.M was a confusing case. Eggman just found him in the eggnet and decided to keep him and call him a son. I call him M's twin because they happen to be created at roughly the same time, which is just while Sonic was in space. A.D.A.M's name means both Autonomous Digital Assault Microbe, as well as being a recursive acronym meaning A.D.A.M determines Anonymous's movements. He was the first person to realize Sonic was back from space, back when he was still just a computer virus. He would then take over Eggman's nanite stores. He would use these to build like a whole city with. Eventually, A.D.A.M would be told to determine the movements of Anonymous, which is... That's where that recursive acronym comes from. Basically, Anonymous was the mastermind behind the attempted Eggman assassination, as well as some other events like the return of Ixis Naugus, destroying what was remained of the Source of All, and tricking Sonic with a fake version of his childhood friend Tommy Turtle. It all backfired, though, because A.D.A.M was Anonymous. Eggman tried to destroy him after finding that out, but A.D.A.M used the nanites he'd stolen earlier to take over Tommy Turtle's body. He started a whole take over the universe plot, but that got nipped in the bud pretty fast, as they usually do. Tommy managed to briefly regain control of his body and realized the only way to stop A.D.A.M was to sacrifice himself as well. At the end of the day, good riddance, A.D.A.M. Bye. No one liked you. These guys. Characters whose classifications are more ambiguous than the other characters on the list. Some call them egg kids, some call them henchmen, some look at you and ask who on earth you're talking about. Yeah. Scratch and Grounder were the two main henchmen of Dr. Robotnik in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. There's not much of a backstory with them, but basically, Robotnik tried to make a super soldier to capture Sonic. What he got was Scratch. He tried to upgrade Scratch and make him more effective, but accidentally ended up with Grounder.
Voila! your identical twin brother. My twin? Am I that ugly?
Yeah, somehow despite all his kids being robots, he still had a lot of accidents. Scratch is loud, annoying, arrogant, and overconfident. He claims he's Robotnik's favorite and the leader of the super special Sonic Search and Smash squad. That took me 3 tries to say correctly. But he's a total coward at the end of the day. He's also stupid, much like Grounder. Grounder is dumb, clumsy, naive, and overly enthusiastic. They don't get along, really. They're constantly bickering over everything, but Scratch even calls Grounder his little brother sometimes, and yeah. They don't totally hate each other. Robotnik thinks they're both stupid and annoying, but keeps them around anyway. They get honorable mention status because there's not a lot to be said about them. Okay, this segment was actually requested by a viewer in my comments, and I agreed because I did not properly convey the insanity of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog in Junior's segment. Let's talk about Breezy. Breezy was a robot designed by Dr. Robotnik with the sole purpose of attracting and then eliminating Sonic. It almost worked, actually, but Breezy ended up swapping sides and left Sonic on his own. She set off to do her own thing after that. That ended up being hosting a talk show, by the way. They met again when, as mentioned earlier, Breezy was kidnapped right off the set of her show alongside Junior to find out where her programming went on.
Quick editor's note, I wrote this in the script, but for some reason I forgot to actually read it out. The reason that Robotnik needed to capture Junior and Breezy to study them and figure out where they went wrong was because he was trying to create, like, the perfectly loyal robot wife of his dreams named Amaletta. I don't know how I completely skipped over that, sorry.
She started flirting with Sonic again by this point, which upset Junior because he was crushing on her. But by the end of the episode, they were together. Then they, got married or something. Also, in Archie, I don't think she was created by Robotnik, but I could be wrong about that. Again, I haven't gotten to her much yet. Orbot and Cubot are Eggman's current henchmen in the games. They were formally introduced in Sonic Colors, but best known for their Sonic Boom appearances. In both Boom and the games, they're both goofy goobers who share exactly one brain cell. Orbot is a bit more serious and smart, while Cubot is just all around a dummy. Eggman built them just to kill some time out of boredom. They helped out during Colors and got stuck in Shadow side of Whitespace for generations, almost died in Lost World but were saved by Eggman and generally serve as comic relief in IDW. And Eggman agreed with Sage in Frontiers when she asked if Orbot and Cubot could be her brothers. But he doesn't really treat them the best. At all. Honorable mentions over. Now let's finally get on to our last 2 hatchlings. At the start of the IDW comic series, Eggman had lost his memories. He took on the name of Mr. Tinker and lived in the very small Windmill Village. He was peaceful and gentle, making toys and playgrounds for local children, helping people out, but he was lonely. So Belle was created to be Tinker's daughter. Belle woke up one day and her dad was just gone. Starline came and kidnapped Tinker, tried to make him become Eggman again, and then the metal virus happened. Windmill Village was the first place attacked. She tried going home after the cure was found, but she was accused of being a spy for Eggman. She was forced to watch as the entire village turned on her dad and destroyed everything he built, but finally she ran away. Oh, and somewhere in there she got kidnapped by Starline so that he could scan her code and copy it for Surgeon Kit, but they are not important for today. After that, Belle found a broken down Metal Sonic, repairing him and forming a strong connection. Eggman refused to come home with her, and she rejected his offer to become evil and work under him. She's done some random stuff with Sonic's crew since, but eventually set out on her own, opening a traveling workshop to help fix things for people. And currently, she's helping to track down Metal Sonic, which is a skill she has thanks to their link. She just met her sister Sage for the first time, and they certainly didn't get along at first. Belle saw Sage as a replacement, and also Sage's blunt and analytical style came off as really rude to Belle, and she was sarcastic and mean right back. But they ended up bonding nonetheless. And then Sage gets kidnapped. Oh yeah, I guess we should talk about Sage now, huh? And on to my favorite Egg Kid. Not just mine, but Eggman's too. I'll just dive in now before I start yapping about how much I love her. Sage was created by Eggman on accident, kind of. It was merely an AI who could grab information fast for him. But that all changed when he took his new tech to the Starfall Islands and placed the device she was downloaded to into a cyberspace portal. Sage interlinked with the ancient system, designing itself a physical form, gaining enhanced abilities and powers, and slowly developing a personality. As Eggman spent time with it researching the ancients, he began to see Sage as less of a program and more of a person. Realizing working with Sonic was the only way to save them all, she would talk her dad into it, after he begrudgingly accepted that she was correct and he was wrong. They did need Sonic. Sonic would subdue the Titan Supreme, and Sage would pilot it into space using its huge freaking sniper rifle against the end! Her coolness peaked here, honestly. Give this girl a rifle again. It's sick. Eventually, though, Sage would sacrifice her life. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Nikki Chaos. I'm kidding. Sage got brought back online by Eggman, presumably from, like, a file backup or something. Now, after all that, is Sage a kind soul who's changed her ways and lives for herself now? No! That girl is a terror! Sage loves her father so much. She is so loyal. Too loyal. Her life goal is protecting Eggman, ensuring he gets just what he wants. And what does he want more than the world itself? In Crossworlds, we see this full force with her antagonizing people. She threatens to take over Blaze's dimension, destroy Silver's future, she calls Shadow old, threatens to take Metal apart. Yeah, there's a lot. Other than that, she's fairly neutral to people. She would make a small appearance alongside Metal Sonic in the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, wearing t-shirts to celebrate Eggman almost winning. Again, in Chaotix's case files, where she was guarding an old Eggman base and shockingly was nice enough to help Vector and Charmy with their case. She was also in the Crossworlds promo animation, where she, like, dies in a car crash or something? I don't know. Blah blah blah. IDW. Metal is missing. You guys get the idea by this point. Sage's distaste for Belle comes from Sage being focused on the mission and seeing Belle as inefficient. But that kind of changes as they go. She lets her emotions show a bit, cracks a few jokes, and then while Sonic gets separated from them and the girls are attacked by Metal Sonic, Sage has a panic attack. Belle eventually calms her down and they save themselves, but then, say it with me, guys. Sage gets kidnapped! By Metal! And as I record this, I don't know what's happening to her, but the synopsis for the next issue says that she's facing the threat of deletion. So that's fun. I could talk about Sage for hours, honestly, because she's already such an interesting character even after her few appearances. But I'll nip it in the bud here and end the video because I don't want to edit anymore.
Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. It means a lot to me that you did that since I spent a lot of time making it. If you've watched it this far, it would mean a lot if you'd hit subscribe. Thank you again, and I will see you next time.